trigger warning in the sense where what I'm going to share with you in this video may trigger you, in the sense where you may feel some anger, some frustration, some feelings and knowings of what has been holding you back, and hopefully it may trigger you to be motivated to change some things. Because in this video I want to share with you 5 things that you can stop doing or do more of to stop ruining your life. When I say stop doing or do more of, it depends on the point that I'm on, but you will get it when I say the point. So very simple. A lot of these points have came from what I've seen in my life, but also over the last years, I was fortunate to be able to interact with thousands of people. And prior to this, in my day-to-day, it would be a case where I probably would be interacting with the same people every day, right? Whether it was at home, family, or friends, or at work and stuff, it would be like same bubble. But then when I started getting into personal development and spirituality, even more like working on this stuff, I started to interact with a lot more people, especially when coaching people and helping people. Then what happened was, over the last few years, literally got to a point where every week I was interacting with thousands of people. And I would see some of these common traits of the people who would come in, who would look like they had everything working well and they just need to get to that next level. But then when you look and you see these things that are going on behind the scenes that are limiting them, that are literally ruining their life without them even realizing, you start to see a pattern. Then you see some other people who may not have the skills, may not have the knowledge, may not have the know-how, but they have certain traits that allow them to be better or be greater than even the people who have the skills, who have the know-how, who have that, for example, maybe inner confidence. So it doesn't really depend on what you have, but some of these traits, you can take these, use them, and literally stop ruining your life and make it even better. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get straight into it because I want to keep this video very short and sweet. So the first thing to stop ruining your life is, point number 1, reduce the gap. Now, what do I mean by reduce the gap? Reduce the gap between, when you have something in life where you feel frustrated, you feel like it's bugged you, you feel like it's pissed you off, you feel like it's affecting you. Something happens. The gap between that thing happening and the point in time where you feel better, where you feel over it, where you can think clearly again. Reduce that gap. Sometimes, for me, I used to have this gap where something would happen and it would bug me or annoy me, or I think, why did that person say that? Why is this happening? And then this would be on my mind for not a few seconds, not a few minutes, not a few hours, not a few days, not a few weeks, sometimes even months. Maybe for some of you watching this, you've got things in life that have been affecting you for years. But the problem is when we allow these things to affect us for so long, it's taking our energy, because this thing is constantly playing on repeat, playing on our thoughts. 2, the way that we're able to think of things clearly, openly, honestly, is affected. And this just grates on your life, because now this one thing that happened once point in time and space, maybe it was last week, maybe it was last month, maybe it was even a few days ago, is still affecting us this point later. So the reason why the first one is reduce the gap is reduce the gap between the thing happening that affects you and the thing that happens to make you feel better. What if you could reduce the gap to being minutes? Instead of being affected by that thing, that person didn't call you back, or that person said something wrong to you, or your boss spoke to you differently. Instead of this overthinking on your mind for hours, days, weeks, maybe even longer, you get rid of this gap so that it maybe affects you for seconds, for minutes, but then after that, it doesn't affect you. This is not to say that you don't do anything about it. If your boss speaks to you a certain way and you want to take action, leave it, go to a different job, or you want to speak to them about it, it's not to say don't do anything about it. It's just reduce the gap between that thing happening, you not doing anything about it, but it's still being on your mind, still playing on your mind. This is a huge one. I know for me, I used to be impressed when I would reduce the gap to even a few days. It would feel so much better because now it's not affecting me for weeks, it's only affecting me for a few days. Then I got to the point of seeing people around me, different mentors and different people sharing different things with me, and realizing that, whoa, days is way too long. I thought days was good, but realizing that days is like, I'm wasting days thinking about what this person said, or what never happened here, or why did this happen? To the point where now is a case where it can be seconds. Something will happen, may feel an effect, but within a few seconds, doesn't affect anymore like that. Can make a different decision based on a more clear, more clarity mindset. So that's the first one, reduce the gap. The second one is don't ascribe intent. What do we mean by ascribing intent? I think I first learned this from, some of you may follow him, I think his name's Infinite Waters on YouTube, about many years back. And he was talking about not ascribing intent. When he said this, he's basically saying, don't give certain specific meaning to something when you don't know the true meaning behind it. For example, let's say you're applying for jobs and you submit your application or you submit an email to someone, then that person doesn't email you back. You may ascribe intent to think that, whoa, this person didn't email me back. Does that mean that I'm not good enough? Does that mean that my CV is not good enough? Does that mean that I said the wrong thing? Why is this person not? Then you see how this can take you on that train of thought to then even maybe changing your CV, maybe changing what you said, maybe re-emailing, maybe saying, hey, sorry, did I say something wrong? If somebody doesn't message you back. What it means to not ascribe intent is you don't actually know what's going on in these other people's lives. Think about it. That person who you emailed or that person who you messaged or that person who you text, maybe they did want to get back to you and maybe you was a good candidate or maybe they wanted to speak to you, but something happened in their life. Maybe some sort of family thing happened. Maybe something happened where they're on holiday. Maybe something happened where they really like your application, but they're torn between another one. Not to say that your one isn't good, but by you ascribing intent, the meaning that you give to it will dramatically impact your thoughts up here, what you're thinking, how you may evaluate even your self-worth, right? Not only that, when you ascribe this intent, your quality of life can go down because now you're overthinking. Now you're thinking, did I do something wrong? Should I say something differently? Should I message them again? Maybe I'm not good enough. Instead of you just say, hey, I don't know why this person didn't respond. I believe I did everything that I could have. Maybe something happened in this person's life where they can't respond now. Now you carry on. You see how already it's very different energy to the one who's thinking, what did I do wrong? Why are they not texting me? Why is this not happening? They usually texting me every single day, but now they haven't texted me for a few days. This is not to say that you walk around your life blindly thinking, hey, everything's all good. This is still you taking logical action, taking some action in the direction that you want to go, but not ascribing intent to every single thing that happens. Being open to the thing that something else could be going on here that I'm not aware of. That doesn't mean that I'm a bad person or I'm not doing something right or I'm not a good fit for this. It could just mean that, hey, something's happening in their life, cool. And this happens many times. You think about it for yourself where these things happen and where you ascribe this intent. It could be even a conversation. Someone could say something to you and then you think, hey, this person said something. Is this like a sly dig or a subtle dig? But actually they didn't mean that. They actually were giving you a compliment or they were just saying something that's neutral. So now when this second point is just to start to appreciate that not everything that you think has a particular meaning has that meaning. Oftentimes we ascribe certain intentions to certain actions from people that wasn't the intention at all. Then it gets us going down this whole rabbit hole and taking different actions that can end up self-sabotaging. That's why second thing, do not ascribe intent, okay? Try to get a bigger picture, a bigger meaning behind it, and don't doubt yourself. The third thing is do things that you know that you should be doing. And I smile because I know as I say that, probably already things are coming to your mind of what you should be doing. You know those things that maybe you've been procrastinating, those things that maybe you know you should be doing, but there's a lack of self-belief. Or maybe there's things that you know that you should be doing, but because not prioritizing time right now, not doing them. But you know that these are the things that you should be doing. Why? Because these are the things that when you don't do them, it feels like you feel that pain in the heart where the next day happens, you're like, oh, man, I should have really done that. Next day happens again, you know, I should have done that. Next day happens, you're like, okay, tomorrow I'll do it. Tomorrow comes, but then it's tomorrow again. Then you have this feeling inside where you just know that you should have been doing this thing or these things, and you know that it's pushing out the results or pushing out the pleasure or pushing out the things, the rewards that you can get back, because in that moment, you're prioritizing something else. Something else that the mind will try to convince you that you need to be doing this. This is more important. But when you take a step back, you know that this other thing in the long run will help me more. Whether it is starting reading something, whether it is going on a course, whether it is speaking to someone, whether it is that email that you've been putting off. You know, it could be anything. So don't put off these things that you know you should be doing. Do them. When you feel that thing, when you know you should be doing, if you need to write it down and put a time, put a date, stick to it. Maybe some things are coming to your mind right now that you should be doing. You can pause this video and note it down. Okay, you know what? Today, 8 p.m., I'm going to do this. Today, after this video, I'm going to do this. Tomorrow, I'm going to start this. Whatever it is. Maybe it's that diet. Maybe it's going to gym. Maybe it's continuing gym. Maybe you started gym, fallen off the bandwagon. Now you know that you've been needing to go back, but you've been prioritizing work. But you see how many people prioritize work, don't prioritize their health, and you know how that thing finishes. So think about it for you. What is that thing that you've been putting off that you know you should be doing? Commit to it. If you want to put it in the comments, commit to yourself, do a public declaration, do it. So the fourth thing is stop being so comfortable. Now I know when I say this, some of you watching this will be like, I'm not comfortable. Like I'm pushing myself, or I'm not comfortable. I have certain financial goals that I want to achieve, but they're not happening. So I really wish I had a pay rise or started this business where it was producing 10K per month or 100K per month, whatever your goal is. But the reality is for a lot of you watching this, you are comfortable. You think about it. If you've got a roof over your head, if you've got Wi-Fi, which I believe you have, you to be watching this, unless you downloaded the video and don't have Wi-Fi, but I believe you have Wi-Fi or mobile data. If you have food, if you have warmth, a lot of these things are comfort on a subconscious level, where consciously you can be thinking, I'm not comfortable, I want more money, or I'm not comfortable, I want this type of relationship, or I'm not comfortable, this is not happening in life. So you complain about it, you talk about it, but the reality is because you're comfortable, and this links to the last point. You know, the last point where I shared about do the things that you know that you should be doing. A big reason why most people don't do the things that they know that they should be doing is because they're comfortable. They're in a comfort zone. You know, this was a big limiter for me when I was starting to learn speaking. My comfort zone was not speaking in public. My comfort zone was not doing a lot of things outside my comfort zone because it felt safe. It felt easy. I would say to myself, I want to learn how to speak. I want to learn how to public speak. I want to learn how to have this business that's producing over 10K per month. But the reality was, because I was comfortable, subconsciously, the actions that I was taking, maybe I would be watching a video here, but then be lying on the couch while watching the video, not taking notes, learning something here, but not applying it, saying, yes, I'm going to take action, but then not actually taking action. So be real with yourself. Are you comfortable? And don't just listen to your mind when it says, no, I'm not comfortable. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Think deep into your soul. Are you comfortable? This is not to say where you don't chase comfort. Comfort is beautiful. You know, you have that certainty in life, you have that comfort. But this is just to recognize that fine line between, think about it. There's a fine line between being comfortable and not doing anything about it, or being comfortable, being appreciative of that comfort, and self-love, wanting even more for yourself, wanting better for yourself, wanting better for those that you care about. Very fine line between this comfort allowing you to just settle, or this comfort allowing you to trigger the thriving mentality. So don't settle for comfort. Stop being comfortable. The fifth and final thing is, and this was a big thing, actually links to that thing where I said I wanted to learn to speak. Fifth and final thing is stop worrying about what other people are thinking. This could be what friends are thinking about you, what family is saying about you, what even the little voice in your mind is saying about you. Stop worrying about these things. This thing is probably the thing that is limiting in that area that you want to grow, in the area that you want to develop, in the area that you want to transpire and reach greatness. Actually, sometimes the thing that limits you is that feeling of what other people are going to think. You know, maybe you want to start posting on social media, but you're thinking, what will someone think of me when I post this? My friends don't know that I'm into this topic. It's going to be a bit weird. Or sending that message to someone because you're like, but if I send that message to them, maybe you want a relationship, but you're good friends and you're worried, hey, what about if this happens? Do you see how these thoughts, this limitation limits you in so many levels? For me, when I was learning speaking, for example, I started learning, okay, this is a speaker template. This is the way to speak with more confidence. This is the way to portray something in public to get the message to land. But what I didn't realize was the biggest thing that was holding me back was that fear of what others would think of me. If I went on social media and posted something, if I went live on Facebook, if I shared even a story, if I showed my face, all these things were limiting me so that I knew this content, I knew the things that I should be doing, but because I was scared of what others were thinking, subconsciously, on a deeper level, now I wasn't even doing the thing that I knew that I should be doing. Then it prolonged it to the point where progress that could have taken me weeks or months was taking me years, many years, because I was putting it off, thinking that, oh, I'm not ready. But the real reason was that I wasn't ready to allow myself to be myself because I was scared of what other people were thinking of me. So this is the fifth thing, is don't worry what others think of you. I know this might be, sometimes it can be easier said than done, but the real action point is just doing the thing that you know that you should be doing, right? That point number 3. This is why all of these 5 things that I put in this video, they link together. Because if you're worried what other people are thinking of you, you're not going to take the actions, you're not going to do the things that you should be doing. Then think about it. And don't just do this for you. Because the chances are the things that you know that you should be doing, that you feel to do, are coming from a deeper part of you. A deeper part of you, because they're not just going to be affecting you, they're going to be affecting many people who you probably don't even know right now. They're also going to be affecting your family, whether that's your current family, your future family, going to be affecting so many people. Even for some of you watching this, and you probably feel this on a deeper level, is going to be affecting and impacting the actions that you take now, or don't take if you fear what other people think, are going to be impacting millions or billions of people going forward. But by you not taking this action, by you not doing this thing because of fear of judgment, fear of what other people are going to think, fear of this insecurity, this safety net, now what's going to happen is those millions or billions of people won't be impacted like that. May not even be impacted at all by what you could help them with. Your friends, your family, your current family, future family won't have that higher quality of living, higher quality of standards. And I'm not even talking about finances here or financial goals. Obviously that can affect. I'm talking in general, right? How you show up for yourself, the confidence you have, does that affect your family, your close ones? Of course. Your health, if you start taking care of your health, you know that you should be doing something health-wise, but you've been putting it off, not doing it because, people are going to judge you. Why are you eating like that? When you go for a meal, you're not drinking anymore, you're not eating this anymore. That's weird. But you know that this will benefit you. But like I said, don't just do this for you, do this for the millions or billions of people that this could be affecting, and millions and billions of people after that in your family. Think about it. You are not just impacting yourself, but even the many generations that come from you. So don't just do this for yourself, do this for the many people that you'll be impacting. So those are the 5 things. Stop ruining your life and do the things that you know that you should be doing. These 5 things will help. If you want a part 2, let me know in the comments. Other than that, if you got any value from this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up, give it a like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.